Okay, so if you want to have a lean belly, if you want to have a flat stomach, then the easiest way to do that. Now remember, your belly. So if you see when you lift your chest up, right? So this muscles, this part of the muscles, stomach muscles, this should become flexible. Now, if you want to do that, then the lower part of your belly. So here is your navel. So from the navel, this is the lower part, but this is even lower, right? So pelvic, you can say the pelvic muscles. So when I bend forward, so you should bend forward, and then you should start squeezing the pelvic muscles. Like when you take the stomach in to do the squeeze. So you should start with the pelvic muscles. So you start with the pelvic muscles. So in that way, so this is where your fat should go. And if this goes away, then your kidneys, liver, all that becomes stronger. So it should go here. Because sometimes if you just concentrate here, what happens? The fat here still remains. But the problem, this is the root of the apana vayu. This is where the apana vayu resides. To make the apana vayu stronger, to get your flexibility better, you need to focus on this part. Okay? So let us start with this, like 20 times. Let us squeeze this in and out, 20 to 30 times at your own speed. Now put your palms on the thigh. In that way, your stomach wall is free. Okay? Now squeeze in and out. So it's like a balloon. So when I squeeze, air comes out. So do it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Then you can do it a little faster and faster at your own speed, squeeze in and out. You'll feel a little dizzy also. That's okay, feeling dizzy is fine. Because what happens is this air is connected to the air pressure in the head. The air here is connected to the air pressure in your head. So when you do this, you might feel a little dizzy. So do this and relax a little bit. But without getting this flexible and strong, to get a good forward bend is tough. Okay? So the next, after this is done, then we do the squats. Okay? So now we can do the squats. So the squats, so let's start with the squats now. So for the squats, so here, so the squats, again, you take the lower abdomen in, okay? So when you take that in, you will see that naturally your stomach pushes upward. So what happens is, you are able to hold it here, like kind of press this down, and then your bending is better, okay? Okay, 1, do it 10 times, 2, 3, 4, so when you do this, you have two ways to do it. One, your heel is touching. Second, your heels are in the air, okay? So when you go down, when you breathe out, you go down when you breathe out, okay? Keep doing, keep doing. Do it slowly. See, no jerk. No jerk. Keep doing slowly. And now we can start the Surya Namaskar now. So we'll start with the Surya Namaskar. Okay. We'll do a short prayer. Yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakaroktam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi आबाहो पुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशीर्षं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं हरि ओम्. All right, Surya Namaskar 1. Inhale up, exhale. Bend forward, bend forward. So now when you bend forward, remember, you are pulling from here, right? Slow. So what happens is, if when this is in, so the more your pelvic belt is in, so then you can stretch forward. Why am I bending the knees? Actually, it should be straight, but until our lower back is stronger, it's better to bend your knees a little. Stretch, put your head in. Inhale, stretch, put your head up. Exhale, go behind. Come down. Inhale, come up. Stretch your spine. Exhale, go back in. Okay, now try to touch the heels to the ground. Now you have to squeeze your belly in and out nicely, slowly. Look at your belly. 1, 2. Stretch the calf and the thigh muscles. Pull up your kneecaps. 3, 4. And 5. Now inhale, you can jump or walk forward, whatever is easier for you. Exhale, stretch. Okay, stretch, touch the ground. Try to stretch the knee. Inhale, stretch your back, come up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Okay? So that was one. Breathe deeply. Do it in a very, very relaxed way. So you have to breathe in and out really deeply. Do it slow, no jerky movements. See, if you do it without the breathing, what happens? The body doesn't flex well. So if you want to flex well, do it with the breathing. Inhale up. Exhale, bend forward. So hands next to the feet, okay? That's important. Inhale, head up. Exhale, go back in. Come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back in. Deep breathing. The more you are able to squeeze in the lower abdomen, the better. Even when you breathe in, if the lower abdomen is in and you breathe from the chest. 5 deep breaths. Now inhale, join, come forward or jump forward or walk forward. Exhale, once again stretch. Inhale, join your hands at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down. So that is the Surya Namaskar second time. So we'll do it 3 more times. Third one, inhale up. Exhale, bend forward. Bend the knee. Tummy in. Stretch. Inhale. Back down. Exhale, go behind. Come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back in. Look at your belly. Inhale, jump forward. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, join your hands at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down. Excellent. So we have done it 3 times now, 2 more times. So we are doing it slowly, nicely. Okay, no jerky movements. Very relaxed fashion. All right, inhale up. Lower abdomen in. Exhale, bend forward. Excellent. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go behind. Come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back in. Look at your belly. Look at your belly. Deep breathing. All right, inhale, jump forward. Exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, stretch, come up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Okay. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, bend forward. Stretch. Coming in, bend forward, stretch. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go behind. Inhale, come up. Oh. Exhale, go back in. Now plant your feet nicely, hip distance apart. Stretch your heel, look at the belly. Inhale, jump forward or walk forward. Exhale, stretch once again. Inhale, join your hands at the top. Exhale, bring your hands down. All right, excellent. Now let us do uh, Trikonasana, Padangushthanasana. So Padangushthanasana, keep your legs hip distance apart. Okay, now bend your knees a little. Take the lower abdomen in and then gradually bend forward. Okay, now try to hold the toes. Then lift up your tailbone. Put your head in slowly. Now take your tummy in and out nicely. As you breathe in and out, try to bend forward and put your head in. Inhale. Stretch your spine forward, slowly come up. Okay? Now we will do Trikonasana. All right. Keep your right foot to the right. Turn your right foot right side. Now gradually slings to the right side. Touch the toe. Look up at the palm. 1. Deep breathing. 2. Open up your chest fully. 3. 4. 5. Okay, now let's do the same on the left side. Stretch, touch the left foot. Look at the palm. 1. Open up the chest. Breathe with your tummy. 2. Move your tummy. 3. 4. Stretch. 5. Inhale, come up. Okay. Now move your right foot to the right. The left hand touch the right foot. Take your tummy in now. You can twist better. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, come up. Right foot straight. Now, left foot, left side. With the right hand, touch the left foot. So gradually. After 5 deep breaths, inhale, come up. Join the feet. Now, Parshva Konasana. Okay. Inhale, right foot to the right. Turn your right foot right. Bend your right knee 90 degrees, more than 90 degrees. Right hand. Make your center of gravity low. Left hand up. Breathe deeply. Deep breathing. Take your time, breathe nicely. Okay, come up. Now right foot straight, left foot left side, bend the left knee. Left hand next to the left foot, right hand across. Excellent. Inhale, come up. Okay. Next one. Turn your right foot right. Bend your right knee 90 degrees. Okay, the left hand, now put your body over. Now left hand, you can put it either across or like this, whichever is easier for you. Take your tummy in, then you can bend better, twist better. Inhale, come up. Okay, now bend the left. Okay, right hand across. All right. Excellent. Come up, relax before we go to the. Okay, so the next one. Now gradually bend forward. Okay, you can bend your knees a little. Stretch from the hamstring. Nicely bend forward. Take your tummy in. Breathe in and out with your tummy. Hold as long as you can. Few breaths. Deep breathing. And inhale, come up. Okay, excellent. Now, the next one, you can put your hands behind in Namaste or you can just hold it. You can do Namaste if you can, otherwise just hold it. Okay, all right, keep your right foot right, turn your right foot right, twist your body right. Now, tummy in. Stretch your hamstring, pivot off the buttock. Stretch nicely as much as you can. Then do the same opposite side. Take your time. Do it in a relaxed way. Okay, so do it in a very relaxed manner. Excellent. Relax. Okay, so now we do the next one, the leg balance. Okay, it's very important to get a good balance of, then the lower air will also be balanced. So you can do the balance in two ways. Number one, we do the Vrikshasana. So Vrikshasana, you can hold it here or you can just keep it there, whichever is easier for you. So try to plant the foot nicely, the left foot and the right foot there. You can hold it, whatever it takes to balance. Okay? Hold as long as you can, at least 5 to 10 breaths. You should get a balance. So then do that, then do the other side. Do it 3-4 times, no problem. I want all of you to get a good balance because the balance is important. And the more you practice, it will come. Once this is done, then you should do this front stretch on both sides. Okay? Take your time. Practice it 3-4 times. Okay, once you do it, so you may slip. Okay, then do it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. More and more. And after this, I had a lot of time, difficult time balancing, but one day I just sat down and just did this for like an hour straight, both. And I did both sides, and then the balance improved. So it's just a question of practice. So keep doing. So the more you do it, you have to gaze at one point. That's the secret because the air has to be in balance, the muscles and the air. So if you gaze at one point, here I'm continuously talking, but if you gaze at one point, just gaze at one point, and then you will be able to balance it out. So after this, balancing. So just 2 more minutes, give it time, do it. Balance, balance, try to balance. It's okay, you put in a little more effort. Then we can do, after Vrikshasana, now you can do another balancing pose. So you try to hold it like this now. Hold the toe. Eventually you should be able to lift it like this, but for now we'll start it like this. So do it on both sides, 5 breaths each. Okay. Now after that, we'll do the chair pose. It's almost like the squat. Go as low as you can. Do it about 5 breaths. 5 to 10 breaths. Do it nicely.
Prabhuji, can you please explain?
Which one?
The squat.
So squat is nothing but you just go down, just like the squat. But don't sit fully, just halfway.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So stay as long as you can. Okay. So after the squat, the next one, we'll do the warrior pose. Right foot right, turn your right foot, bend the knee, look right at the fingers. Deep breathing. Then after the right side, do the left side. Deep breathing. Very nice. Okay. So after this, now we will do, just to relieve the back, we just do this pose. Sit down, put your hands behind. And now lift up your waist. Leave your neck loose. Deep breathing. Okay. So now we'll try to do some mudra practice. Okay, so you can sit in any asana which is easier for you. You can sit in Padmasana, Siddhasana, Vajrasana, or any comfortable position for the mudra practice. So I would personally, I sit in Padmasana. I like Padmasana. But you should be able to sit for long time. You won't do very long, but at least 20 minutes. So let us start with. So first, let us start with the mudras with a prayer. So join your hands at the top. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahabhiryangara Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishava Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Now bring your hands down and let us do the Hakini Mudra. Feel the touch at the tips of all the fingers. Hari Om. Because everything is the energy of the Lord. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Feel the balance. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yukta Hara Viharasya, Yukta Chestasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya, Yogo Bhavati Dukhaha. When everything is in balance, eating, sleeping, working, thinking, everything is in balance, then there is no pain. Let all the elements balance. Bhumi Rapanalava Yukammana Buddhire Vacha Ahankara Iti Yamme Bhinna Prakritir Ashtadha. Let all the 8 elements balance. Let our mind be gravitating towards the Lord. Let us meditate on the Hakini Mudra. This mudra improves concentration, memory, focus. As you do this, feel an activation of the healing part of your brain. Feel the pulse at the tips of most fingers. One or two fingers, you might not get the pulse, but in general, if you touch it softly, deftly, don't press it too hard, you should be able to feel the pulse. Let's do the next mudra, the Jnana mudra. Just touch the tips of the forefinger and the thumb. Don't press it too hard, just touch it. So just touch it and keep it like this, upward. Feel the pulse. Focus on your pulse now, where it touches. Om Narayanaaya Namaha. Om Narayanaaya Namaha. So this mudra is the most important mudra. You have to touch, you have to feel the touch sensation. Now focus on your breath at the same time. Let your breath go deeper, calm. Your breath is your healer because all the Vayus are expansions of Vishnu. Feel the energy in between your eyebrows, the balancing of the airs, balancing of all the elements in your body. Om Pranaya Namaha. Om Apanaya Namaha. Om Samanaya Namaha. Om Vyanaya Namaha. Om Udanaya Namaha. Vayu is a pure devotee of the Lord. Narayana. Harihi Om Narayana. Focus on quietness, relaxation, and the healing energy. Let all the energies heal you. Now release the forefinger and touch the middle finger, Akasha. Let us balance the ether. Focus on deep breathing. Now let us balance the earth element, the third finger. Again, feel the tips. And feel the pulse. Feel the pulse. The earth element is getting healed. Just focus on deeper breathing. Balancing the earth element. Now finally, let us balance the water, the last one. All the dryness, itchiness in the body goes away with this Varuna Mudra. Now let us touch the tips of all the fingers. Feel the energy at the tips of all the fingers, healing energy. One more minute. Okay, now touch the tips of the fingers to the sides. Feel the energy healing in between the eyebrows. Calm down, feel relaxation. Heal all your facial muscles when you touch the tips of fingers. You relax all of them, your expression relaxes, you feel calm. And now let's do the Shankha Mudra to purify all our nadis. Your left thumb, left hand thumb. Now Hold it with the four fingers of the right hand. The right thumb touch the tips of the fore and middle finger. Now try to feel the pulse here at the tips. Just meditate on your breath. Purifies all the 72,000 nadis. Now let us do the Sahaj Shankh Mudra. So clasp your hand and put your fingers above it. It's an amazing healing. So just touch the palms, the fleshy part below the thumbs. They should touch nicely. That activates the healing in the Manipura chakra. That part is connected to the Manipura chakra for the healing. Okay, now join your hands in prayer. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right. Hope all of you are feeling relaxed as much as I am. So, today we are going to summarize the Yoga Sutras and how it helps us in healing by applying those sutras in our day to day life. So, there is a way to remember the sutras and how, by applying them, we can actually, uh, in our day to day life, we can heal ourselves and improve our level of mental sharpness. So, what is the Yoga Sutra? So, Yoga Sutra is basically how the practice of yoga is done. And Yoga Sutra, so yoga itself means connection. So, yoga means connection. Okay. Amruta, can you note the important points as we say one by one? I'll say point number one, point number two. Can you note it down?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll say point number one, point number two. So we'll go in that order. Okay. In the end, you read it out. Okay. So, so the Yoga Sutras begin with the definition of yoga. So point number one. So what is the definition of yoga? There are two which go together. The meaning. So point number one. So the meaning of word yoga is connection, union. And the point number 2, yoga is defined as a discipline. Now the word discipline comes from where? Anybody can anybody say where does the word discipline come from? What is the root of the word discipline?
Anushasanam.
Yes, but where does the English word discipline come from? It comes from the word disciple. A disciple is the one who disciplines himself. Make sense? So disciple means he follows anushasana. He follows something that makes him disciplined. So anu means to follow. Follow. Follow the teacher. Follow the scripture. These are the two mottos of the Yoga Sutras. Follow the teacher. Follow the scripture. Follow the discipline. What happens when you discipline the mind? Okay, next point number 3. So what happens when you discipline the mind? What is one word? What happens when you discipline the mind? What is that you get?
Peace, silence,
Peace, silence, what else? I'm looking for an important word.
samadhi,
Samadhi. Okay, an English word.
Rebellion.
What is it?
Wisdom.
Freedom. Okay. Now people think freedom of mind means, this is Socrates. Socrates defines discipline of mind brings freedom. So he says 4 principles to freedom. So freedom means, we think freedom means to eat whatever you want, sleep whenever you want, do whatever you want. That is freedom. That's what we think. But that is an invitation to more suffering. That is not freedom. Freedom means freedom from that which causes suffering. Freedom from thoughts of suffering. Like right now, half of America is suffering. Their candidate lost. Other half is rejoicing. Okay. Then 2 teams, they are playing some game. Half rejoice, half suffer. That is because of you are not following the discipline. Discipline means disengagement from that which causes suffering. Now, for example, somebody invited me to a bachelor party. Okay, I'm not pointing at to you, Ashish. Okay. So somebody invited me there. So what happens? I go to the bachelor party, but I forget discipline. I have a late night dance, late night diet, and next day morning I wake up super duper late. So my discipline is gone. What happens?
Prabhu, I still did Neti and Dhoti after getting up.
Okay, okay, that's still a good counteraction. So what happens? Your whole next day's routine goes away. Now, for example, we have some festival. It's good to have, but many a times we fast during festivals. Janmashtami, this, that. But then it's midnight. Now, instead of eating something light or some fruits just to break the fast and sleep well, people end up having a feast. That's what happens. It takes a few days to recover after that. So your freedom goes away. Freedom means you are busy trying to just digest, relax, take bath. So discipline brings about freedom. So when the mind is free, so when the mind is free means what? Okay, now there is a higher definition to that. When I am connected externally When I am connected externally in the mode of passion and ignorance, I am suffering. For example, you get an email from Uber Eats, today $10 off. That's it. I had a desire to eat some pizza or some vegan something, and immediately as soon as I see that, that's it. That desire and that. And then if I'm not disciplined, what happens? Immediately my connection goes external. However, if I'm well disciplined and well focused, what happens? Doesn't bother me anymore. Even if it comes there, I've eaten at this time, I don't want to eat anymore. But if I'm not disciplined, immediately I'm bound. I get stuck with external objects. Now, Patanjali calls this suffering. So that is a result of connection with ego. That is called klesha. Klesha means connection with ego. Klesha means suffering. The first result of practice of yoga, practice of bhakti, yoga and bhakti are interchangeable words because yoga means connection with God. Bhakti means also connection with God through devotion. But it both mean connection with God, connection with Krishna. They're interchangeable words. Yoga doesn't mean asana only. Yoga means the whole of yoga, connecting with God ultimately. That can only happen when you are free. I invite you to a party. You say, I am busy. Right? When I invite you a party, you say, sir, I am busy. I have no time. So similarly, yoga means to connect within. You say, I want to connect within, but instead of that, I am connected outside. Now, externally, I may do something like an activity, but internal connection with that activity. So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Raga Dvesha Vimuktaistu Vishayanendriyais Charan Atma Vashair Vide Atma Prasadam Adhigachati. What is prasada? Prasada means mercy, lucidity. So if you really want to grow spiritually, then the external bounding action should stop. Those things which make you attach and suffer. Like all of us become attached to something, and that causes our suffering. Eventually, once you get over that attachment or aversion, so there are two things. One is aversion and attachment. You should not do. Suppose I don't like something, then I become just a rebel fighting it. That is also not good. I'm very attached. So Patanjali explains that freedom means when your mind is disengaged and you are engaged within. So I chant mantras, I read shastras, I practice yoga. So when I put all these activities together, that activity is yoga. When I eat, I am disciplined. When I'm speaking, I am disciplined. I just don't go off the cuff. When I read something, I'm disciplined. So discipline in every aspect brings about freedom. Freedom of what? Freedom of the soul. Freedom of the soul. Freedom of the Atma. So the freedom of the Atma comes, or freedom for the mind to connect with the Atma comes when the mind, see, mind can engage in two sides, one external, one internal. Internal means going within, connecting to the intelligence, connecting to the soul. External means connecting to the body, connecting to the external world. So discipline means I reduce the connection. So for example, if you're eating all the time, if you're only worried about as soon as you wake up in the morning, oh, what's my breakfast? What's my lunch? What's my dinner? No, you discipline. This is what I'm going to eat. Done. It's out of my head. I prepare for it. I discipline it. Done. Not that I'm every time, are you? No, you're disciplined. You eat that. You take care of health. Done. Then what do you do with the rest of the time? Then I focus on healing. Then I focus on going within. Externally, we have so many weaknesses, so much attachments that needs to be healed. that healing. So that yoga, so it begins with chikitsa, healing. So the first part of yoga, kriya, asana, pranayama, this is all healing.
Prabhu,
Hmm?
what was the third point?
So the third point is
Freedom.
freedom. Yes, by disciplining, the mind gains freedom to go within. Okay, mind
Hmm.
gains freedom to go within. So when I'm speaking, if I forget, you can make your own points. Okay, headlines from what you understand. Okay,
Hmm.
so and that freedom allows you to meditate on the soul. So your mind should become free from external attachment. And then it allows the mind to meditate within. So that is the goal of yoga, to allow you to meditate within. Now, this is the whole crux of the summary of yoga practice. This is it. Right in the beginning, he hits you and he tells you that free the mind from external engagement, free the mind from anger, free the mind from external attachments and aversions also. I might not have somebody whom I love, but I might have somebody whom I hate. So both are two sides of the same coin. What do you need to do with this world? Neutrality. You need to become neutral to this world. That is progress. So progress means when I become neutral, when things don't affect me, right? Things don't affect me. Oh, my neighbor got a new car. Oh my God, right? No, I didn't get a new car. What's the big deal? My neighbor, my same company, same team, he gets a raise, salary raise. So then, oh, I don't lose my sleep over it. Big deal. You can put a value on anything, but you cannot put a value on the soul. You cannot put a value on internal peace. You cannot put a value to your connection with Krishna. You can put a value to anything, but there is no monetary value that you can put to the soul. You cannot put a monetary value to experiencing spiritual happiness. There is no monetary value. That can only be experienced in a state of that can in freedom. When you are free, Nelson Mandela was in jail for 26 years. When he finally became free, you cannot put any material value to that. You cannot. So similarly, when the soul becomes free from the suffering, when you really feel freedom of mind, you cannot put any monetary value to that. So the point is that we should come out of all types of mentalities that are material, that bind our thinking into anything, value of the soul. For example, uh, we might have a lot of money. Some people might have a lot of money, or you might have just enough to make your life. Okay. Now, the guy with a lot of money maybe always be depressed, stressed, always thinking about money. The man who is just making enough, he may be peaceful, free, enjoying his life, really happy, yoga, meditation. But according to his karma, he just makes enough. But who is more happier here? One who has money or one who has freedom? What is the opinion? Pretty simple, right? So the guy who is free, who is disease free physically, mentally, intellectually, that is what was Chanakya. He was a Brahmana. Chanakya wrote such wonderful books, Chanakya Niti. Chanakya, he also captured a whole kingdom with his intelligence. He did all of that. But then he lived in a hut. he actually lived in a hut. He didn't put any value, just enjoyed it. He just lived simple. So, the fifth point, simplicity is freedom. Okay? So, simplicity, right? So, simplicity means you understand. And Patanjali says everything external is 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 suffering either right now or in the future. Like I was doing this astrology class, and my astrology students were saying, so I was telling the astrology students, so in your horoscope, whatever is there is your karma from the last life, and you are suffering now. So they told me, oh, there are some people whom we see, they are making a lot of sin, but they are enjoying life. Nothing is going wrong with them. I said, that is as long, even Ravana did everything until his luck ran out, until your punya. So you have, so for example, somebody has $1 billion. That's a lot of money. So he enjoys. So now that $1 billion is enough to sustain his enjoyment for many number of years. But if he makes a mistake, or the sooner that the money runs out, if he is doing wrong, that's it. The moment it runs out. So till it runs out, so people suffer. Then you have to wait till it runs out. So Patanjali says that either now or later, either gross or subtle, the moment you enjoy in this world, you sow a seed of suffering. The moment you suffer in this world, if you do not learn your lesson, you sow the seed for future suffering. So Patanjali explains that every suffering that we have in this world is meant to teach us a lesson what not to do in the future. And don't value your future in terms of money. So by this age, if I make this much money, then I am this. So that's how people value. But then real freedom is freedom from that, is to have a body and mind that is free from suffering and attachment. So Patanjali lays out the guideline of the types of thoughts we have. So he explains we have 5 types of thoughts, point number 7, and they can be painful or non-painful. So the mind is designed with the 5 types of thoughts. 5 types of thoughts. Now these thoughts can be painful or non-painful. When they are painful, when it is external. When they are non-painful, when they are based on internal soul. So Patanjali says the Samadhi Pada, the first chapter, is for those who have already captured the mind. Then they go internal. So when you go internal also, you face obstacles. What are the obstacles when you go within? Is that your practice is not strong enough. So Patanjali emphasizes practice and detach. What is the secret of success? Practice and detach. Point number 8, Abhyasa Vairagya. He says Abhyasa, practice and detach. What is meant by practice and detach? Krishna tells Arjuna the same thing. Arjuna says, Krishna, the mind is very difficult to control. So what does Krishna say? Abhyasa. Then he says, Vairagyena, Abhyasena tu kaunteya, Vairagyena hitaya cha. Abhyasa and Vairagya. So these two should be there. Means practice and detachment. Detachment means what? For example, I remember one of my classmates, he was a chronic drunkard. And he went to the hospital because his liver began to fail. And that time he started crying out of pain. He said, "Oh, I don't want to suffer anymore." So then he quit drinking. They started therapy. Then he got better. He said, "I promise I'll never, ever drink again." So I said, "That's a great progress. You're putting drinking." And when they brought him back, the first thing he did was go and look for his bottle. So what's the problem there? Vairagya is not there. So we get Phalgu Vairagya. We get Vairagya for some time. Just like after you eat heavy, so then you don't want to eat anymore. Oh, yeah. Now I don't want to eat. That is temporary. But then to control, really, so that means you need to have that self-control. So Krishna says that as we get stronger, so yoga makes you stronger physically, mentally. So there is a tendency to get our old tendencies back. That's the thing. If you bypass them, then you progress. So he says practice and vairagya. So vairagya means detachment. Hmm? So is vairagya means so that which you have experienced, heard, and wanting to enjoy. So in other words, we call something as the bucket list. Oh, that's on my bucket list. Today nobody has buckets. You cannot travel. So, but people have bucket lists that I want to do this, enjoy this. You should be spiritual bucket list. This. I want to bathe in the Ganges. I want to do something. I want to meditate. So that should be your. Then Patanjali gives you techniques. So for those who have not yet got, so for those who have got an internal, the first chapter is for them. So those who have got an internal, the first chapter is for them. So he tells them, go within. So when you go within, you have several levels of focus. One, the four samadhis. So point number 9, the four samadhis. They are uh, the when you meditate on the physical object, when you meditate on the subtle properties of the object, then you meditate on the mind itself. So for example, now using your mind, you are meditating on an object. Okay, so whenever you are external, your meditation is on the object. First, you need the physical object. So I begin with meditating on the sun. I'm meditating on Gayatri Mantra. So I'm imagining the sun, I'm focusing on the sun. I may need to look at the sun in the beginning. But after some time, I get the image of the sun in my mind. I don't need to look at the sun anymore, but it's good to look at the sun. But I meditate on him internally. My remembrance of him is so strong. And then, so two, then I meditate on the subtle properties of the sun. So I meditate on the sun god, sun planet. I begin to contemplate on the meaning of Gayatri. I go deeper. So when I do that meditation in the second level, I'm meditating in the mind. In the mind. So mind is still focusing on an object. So imagine I'm putting a torch light and I'm perceiving the image. So the mind is still focusing on that object. The level 3 of meditation, Patanjali says, is when that image is instant on your mind. That becomes your nature. So when meditation becomes your nature, that is the third level of samadhi. When your mind is meditative, your nature of your mind means the external focus is gone. Your mind is deeply focused within. For example, you find yogis who were found buried or who sit in a cave like months. I cannot think of 101 things and sit in a cave. I have to think only about one thing. I have to really be vairagya. I have to really focus on one thing. So Patanjali explains these three levels as vitarka, vichara, and ananda. So point number 9, Amruta. Vitarka, vichara, ananda. So vitarka means when I concentrate on the physical object. Vichara means I concentrate, I go deeper. So when my concentration is long enough, then I go deeper into that object. Then Ananda. So Ananda means I don't need an object anymore. My mind is self-concentrated. That is very deep. When your mind itself is self-concentrated, it doesn't need any external object. So nothing outside bothers him. Patanjali says if you reach this level of subtle, where you are able to meditate on the object instantaneously, in pranayama, there is one stage called Kevala Kumbhaka. So in pranayama, I breathe in, I breathe out. Okay? And then in between, when I breathe in, I hold the air. And when I breathe out, I hold the air. So there are two holdings. And each time the hold, kumbhaka, I try to expand. The longer you can hold, the more your mind is calm. But I reach a stage where I don't need inhale and exhale. I can just hold my breath. And that takes a long time. So that is called Kevala Kumbhaka. So similarly, your meditation, I meditate on an object, then I take a break, meditate, then the image, then I go deeper. Then finally, meditation becomes my nature by default. Now, you can say that if you look, that guy is always short tempered. That guy is a little off, or that guy is this. That guy is very meditative, very focused, right? So if you see, so this is what Patanjali wants us to come to. So the Yoga Sutras are meant to discipline for the freedom of the mind. So Bhagavad Gita also says the mind is your best friend or the mind is your enemy. Okay, when does it become the best friend? When all the external attachment is gone, just like Patanjali's first point. Then it is internal, then it is your friend. Otherwise, as long as the mind is attached or angry or depressed, it is suffering. So this is the whole sum and substance of the Yoga Sutras, to make the mind the friend. And the first chapter he explains how making the mind your friend is the best thing to do. But if the mind is your enemy, then he goes to chapter 2 and he explains the process of Ashtanga Yoga. So in the chapter 1, he assumes that you are already disciplined, that you have already practiced, that you are already disciplined, already practiced, you have achieved freedom of mind, and you are able to meditate on the subtle aspect of an object. And then he gives you more details. That when you are living socially, don't make anybody your enemy. Just be friends or be neutral to this world. Just be friends with those who are spiritually progressive. Otherwise, everybody else, what have we got to do? Just be neutral. What have we got to do? So in this way, we progress spiritually. So we gradually progress. And then he gives the second chapter so that we can progress. And after that, then he explains to lure us further, because sometimes when you practice yoga, to reach this level that we are talking about, sometimes feels impossible. So Patanjali lures them in the third chapter with the siddhis. He says, if you are really able to meditate on your own mind, you can tell the past, present, future. If you practice ahimsa, then nobody will become enemy to you. If you practice always telling the truth, whatever you speak will happen. If you practice non-covetousness, if you don't covet what others have, your time of death will be revealed to you. If you practice celibacy, you will get amazing amount of strength like an elephant. So in this way, he gives you all these different benefits. Then he says, asana, you get this benefit, you get good health, your body becomes balanced. By pranayama, your ignorance is gone. You become very sharp, very focused, very relaxed. By pratyahara, by withdrawing from the senses, your internal sufferings are gone. Your mind becomes ready for meditation. So he gives you benefits step by step by doing what? So the yoga is a progressive healing, and then he gives you the benefits. And finally, he says, all these powers, all these benefits are meant for one purpose, to go within and realize the soul. And he says, this soul, there is pleasure. Chiti Shakti Riti. Prabhupada explains this from the Yoga Sutras. He says, even Patanjali says the word Chiti Shakti Riti. Chit Shakti. So by the knowledge, potency, because Yoga Sutras is about realizing Paramatma, Vishnu within the heart. Chit Shakti. Because God is realized in 3 stages. The first stage is Brahman, where you realize God is all pervading, formless. But the second is realizing Paramatma, Vishnu within the heart. Everybody's heart there is Vishnu. And the third is Bhagavan, realizing Krishna. But by yoga, you go to the stage of, and he gives a deep explanation of Ishvara, the Lord. Ishvaram sarva bhutanam raddeshe Arjuna tishtati. Krishna tells Arjuna that I am in everybody's heart. And this form, if one realizes, then one comes one step closer to Bhagavan. And by then, if one understands love and devotion, samadhi siddhir Ishvara pranidhana. And when you fall in love with that Lord, that is perfection. Samadhi siddhir Ishvara pranidhana. He said, ultimately, it is about connection and love. Yoga is about connection and love. And this connection and love is with the Paramatma, with the Supreme Lord within our hearts. That is the goal of yoga, the Yoga Sutras. Okay, so I summarized it. So now, questions, comments.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji, please. Did you say 5 types of thoughts in the mind, but did you actually go through all 5 of them? I didn't kind of
I can go
catch.
to that. That's a long topic, but I summarized it. It's in the book. So Pramana Viparya Vikalpa Nidra Smrtaya. Actually, these are the 5 characteristics of intelligence from the Bhagavatam. I'll tell you. Samshayota Viparyaso, it's in the Bhagavatam also. And Prabhupada quotes that sutra. You should read that. I will Viparyaso. Let me quote you the verse. One moment. It's in the 3rd canto. Pramana Viparyaya Vikalpa. So if you actually see, so Prabhupada explains that these are the characteristics of intelligence. So what are the 5 pramana? Pramana means proof. So your mind, so your intelligence, first thing, the 5 types of thought. The first type of thought is doubt. So whenever you see something, you should have a doubt. And that doubt is cleared by Shastra or Guru. Second, he says Viparyaya. Here it is. So Viparyaya. So Viparyaya means false knowledge. So false knowledge is cleared by the first one. That is the evidence. Third one, Vikalpa. Vikalpa means imagination. So he says once you realize the self, then this world, this illusion is gone. Okay, it is 3:26:30. Okay, the verse is 3:26:30. So imagination. So you can use your imagination to meditate, or you can get lost in the imagination. The 4th type of thought is Pramane Viparyaya Vikalpa Nidra, is sleep. And sleep is of 3 types. 3 types: Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. If you are having Satvik sleep, it's good. Rajasic means disturbed. Tamasic means you are full of dreams. You have not slept at all. 3:26:30, Canto 3, chapter 26, verse 30.
Okay.
And the last he says is smrataya, remembrance. So he says good sleep and good remembrance is a characteristic of good intelligence. So one should have good sleep. So without good sleep, your intelligence doesn't work.
What does it
Without
mean to
good
have good
memory,
sleep?
your intelligence doesn't work. So these are the 5 types of thought. So evidence, wrong interpretation, imagination, sleep, dream, and the last one is memory.
Remembrance.
Yeah.
So how do you have a good sleep, Prabhuji?
How to have good sleep? Okay, that's another topic. But very simply, good sleep means you should be so sleep in the mode of ignorance. So if you eat heavy and sleep, so that's in the mode of ignorance. So if you want to sleep well, you should be very relaxed. Okay, so that is why a little bit of mudras, calming down at night is very important, because by nature, night you fall asleep. Okay. Now, good sleep means if before taking rest, if you are tired enough, number one. Second, you are fully relaxed. So you have to, that is why mudra practice becomes very important. If you calm yourself down. Okay. Second, you should not be very heavy. Okay. Some people also practice asanas, some exercises, so that you are a little tired and you get better sleep. So if during the day, if we are busy, if we don't stress out, then at the right time, if you sleep early enough, and when you sleep, remember, when you sleep, don't think of too many things. The problem of bad sleep is you think too much. So that means what happens? Subconsciously you are thinking and suddenly you wake up. So the thing is that now if you have a good alarm, so you have to get up for Mangalarti. So if you set the alarm and just depend on the alarm, that I should automatically wake up. But if you are totally tense that I have to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, so then what happens? You begin to stress out. So then your sleep is gone. And if you do that over a prolonged period of time, that's it. So sleep early, make the adjustment, and then wake up early. If you wake up a little early, it's fine. But as long as you sleep, you should be tension free. That is good sleep. Okay, if you take stress when sleeping, oh my God. The moment I stop doing that, my sleep improves. If you take the whole world's stress on your head, it doesn't work. So that's one of the secrets, reading shlokas, reading something nice, going in a good mood and with a purpose means leave it. And you should let everything go and I'm going to just sleep. Then when you wake up, you are fresh. You forget all the bad things from the previous day. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I also drink hot milk. That's another way. Hot milk gives good sleep at night. Okay. All right. So any other questions, comments? Any other questions?
I had actually another one. You said 4 types of samadhi, so you actually counted 3 of them?
Yeah, the last one is Vitarka Vichara Ananda Asmita. Asmita means when you transcend the level of the mind and you go to the level of intelligence. So, but by the time you reach the level of the mind itself, you are free. So the last one is the level of intelligence. It's like the 4 coverings that we have.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you, Amrita, for the notes. Maybe you can quickly read it out and then we will conclude for today.
Okay. Definition of yoga. The meaning of word yoga is connection, and it is defined as discipline.
Go ahead.
By disciplining, our mind gets the freedom, and freedom allows you to meditate on the soul. Simplicity is freedom. Everything external is suffering, and there are 5 types of thoughts, each of them either painful, that are externally based, or non-painful, that are based on the soul. So how do we get success in overcoming the mental afflictions? Is to practice and detach. Vitarka, vichara, and this is asmita. 3 types of meditations. So concentration on external, vitarka is concentration on external object. Vichara is go deep within the object, and asmita is no need for external object, is intelligence based.
Ananda on the mind and Asmita.
Is it Ananda or is it Asmita?
Third one is Ananda. Fourth one
Oh,
is.
fourth is Asmita. Okay. Sorry, I didn't take it right then. Ananda was correct. No need for external object,
But
and I
that
missed
mind,
Asmita.
yeah, Asmita means ego and soul. They are close. So it's referring to the intelligence layer.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So then we
And
did-
then the last one you said doubt, viparaya,
yeah. So
vikalpa, nidra, and smriti.
yeah. So that is the 5 types of thoughts and 5 characteristics of intelligence also.
Hmm.
Yeah. So one is evidence. Second one is clearing up. That is false knowledge cleared up with the first one. Third is imagination fancy. So when our doubts are cleared, our imagination goes away. But you can use spiritual imagination to meditate on the soul and everything. And then there is sleep and memory. So these are the 4 characteristics of intelligence.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all so much. It's been a very interesting session, yoga and knowledge of yoga. So we fill ourselves with both. Say shower and taking a bath. Thank you. So we will connect. So every one of you, I will connect with you later this week. Some of you I missed first week, but most of you I have spoken to already. So just message me a good time so that I can connect you from Tuesday till Friday. Anytime, let me know. Just text me individually. And our Chandrayana batch, I want to meet all of you individually, do some mudras and asanas with you. So just text me and then we will catch up. I want to check your progress. I want to release from tomorrow like daily inspirational videos on meditation and everything to keep you going. Okay. So stop here. Thank you all so much. See you all soon later in the week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu,
Yes.
Trataka.
Tratak. Yes. Good reminding. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. But now you should remember that.
I know.
I'll send a text later. So, okay. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.